Hey everybody, it's me, Esther. Pray that you are having a super amazing day. Yes, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. We shall rejoice, and yes, we shall be glad in it. Listen, we have been teaching on the law of increase, the law of seed time and harvest. And today we were looking at 2 Kings chapter 4. Where Elisha and this woman that had lost her husband was compelled or placed in a position that the creditors were going to take her sons to pay her debt. And she was not going to be able to live life because her sons were the thing that was left in her life to profit her. And according to the word of the Lord, they were coming to take her sons, and she was going to die. That's just kind of how her landscape view of her life was. But the prophet Elisha came to her and asked, "What can I do for you?" It is so important in this day and time that we go to a prophet. We are having a prophet in our ear that has our answer. And he asked her, he said, "What shall I do for you?" And the other thing he asked her was, "What is in your house?" And she began to tell the prophet, she said, "Listen, my husband was your servant. My husband was one that feared the Lord. My son that was faithful being your servant, and now they're taking my sons. And that's all I have is my sons and a pot of oil." Whatever you have is what God needs. Whenever your prophet comes, you need to know what it is you need them to do, because God has mantled and mandated them with hindsight, oversight, foresight, and insight. This man of God had her answer. He began to instruct her, "I need you to go and borrow vessels and borrow not a few. And when you come back in, shut the door with you and your sons and begin to pour." Shut the door and begin to pour. Let me say that again. Shut the door and begin to pour. And when she had fulfilled, when she completed that assignment, she said, "Let me go back to the prophet for my final answer. Let me go back to the prophet for the final instruction, so that we can be in compliance with what God is doing, because he's working, he's performing a miracle." The Bible says, and it came to pass that she sold that oil, she saved her sons, and she was able to live her life. The Bible says she was able to live on the rest. So every time she needed a need, the Bible said, or she had a need, the Bible said the oil stayed. So she always has sufficiency in her life. I want you to know today that God is releasing supernatural sufficiency in our lives. That's what seed time and harvest is all about. We sow the seed, God meets the need, and whatever he blesses us with, it sustains us. I want you to have a super amazing day. Go back over to 2 Kings, the 4th chapter. Begin reading at verse 8. Take your time, read it. Let the word of the Lord speak to you. It will bless your entire life. I just kind of gave a quick overview to let you know what God is doing. Also, you can go back into my archives. I did an entire teaching on it. It'll bless you. I'm Apostle Dr. E. I want you to have a super amazing day. Follow me as I follow Christ. Thank you for liking, sharing, and of course, thank you for subscribing.